I'm sure that all of you and everyone, in fact, understands that these people with their golden toilets, I don't think they think about the future of their country, about the lives of ordinary Ukrainians, about their officers, let alone ordinary servicemen and infantrymen.
Dear comrades, good day. We held a similar meeting on the 25th of October, and at that time it included the chief of the general staff, the chief of the main operations directorate, and the commanders of two groupings, the west grouping and the center grouping.
And then both the commander and the chief of the general staff were providing detailed reports on the critical situation that had developed at that particular moment in time in Krasnoarmeysk and in Kupiansk, where your forces had successfully managed to block large units of the adversary. Today, also present at our meeting are the chief of the general staff, the head of civil defense, and the commander, the operational command staff of the West Group, and also the commander of the South Group. The former commander of the South Group has been appointed to a new position, to the new post of deputy head, deputy minister of defense of the Russian Federation. I am confident that in this new capacity he will fully utilize all his knowledge and the experience of a combat commander. This is very much needed today. I would like to hear a report from the chief of the general staff concerning the current situation within this center group's area of responsibility. I did not invite the commander today. He needs to deal with the tasks assigned to him. Frankly, we are well aware of what is happening with you, but I would ask you to report on the situation as it stands at this very moment, and then I would like to hear a report from the new commander of the South grouping, Izah. This is not a new assignment for you, considering you were the chief of staff of this very same grouping. In this sense, our continuity is full, absolute. Who besides you knows the situation better in this field? As they say, literally and figuratively, the cards are in your hands. I would also ask you, during your report, to specifically focus your attention on the current situation in Konstantinovka. As far as I am aware, combat operations are already taking place within the confines of this settlement. And also, generally, on the situation in the Kramatorsk and Druchkovka directions. And generally across these urban agglomerations, and of course also around Seversk. Then I would ask the commander of the West grouping to take the floor and report on the current situation in Kupiansk as well as on the left bank of the Oskol River. I am referring to Kupiansk, the railway junction, and the adjacent territory, where, to my knowledge, you have also succeeded in blocking a substantial enemy force, numbering quite recently 18, but now, as the chief of staff reports, approximately 15 battalions. How do you plan your future work, specifically your next steps in this direction, and then more broadly in your area of responsibility? Over there, on the left bank, we have the 6th Army and also 1st Tank Army. Could you please provide us with more details? And Valery Fedorovich, I would also like to ask you to report whether it has been possible to create the conditions, as I previously requested, for the servicemen of the armed forces of Ukraine to have the opportunity to lay down their arms and surrender. I have in mind the difficult situation in which they currently find themselves.
Comrade Supreme Commander, these conditions have been created, and considering the hopeless situation of course, many servicemen are making the decision to surrender, but most of them, under threat of execution or even destruction by their own drones, meaning they are simply unable to carry out this mission. At the same time, the political leadership of Ukraine provides absolutely no instructions to its troops regarding this matter.
Understood. But in reality, what the political leadership of Ukraine actually is, we already fully understand. This is no longer any kind of political leadership since March of last year. This group is the criminal organization, an organized criminal community, which since March of last year usurped power, and under the pretext of the necessity of continuing the war with Russia, it holds this power in Ukraine for the purpose of personal enrichment. The facts have now become widely known, emerging from the anti-corruption investigation carried out in Ukraine itself, and I believe it's quite clear to everyone that these people, the idea Vashi sitting on their golden pots, hardly think about their country's fate or the fate of its people.
Ordinary people of Ukraine.
The officer corps, and even more so, the ordinary soldiers. They don't have time for such thing, but you and I have our own tasks and our own goals to achieve. The most important of these is, without a doubt, the achievement of the goals of the special military operation and the resolution of the tasks that our fatherland and the people of Russia place before us.
The people of Russia are counting on us, they are counting on you, and they expect the results that our country truly needs. Let's get to work. Valery Viktorovich, please.